One, they got really good personnel, great personnel. Obviously, 95, we know about Miles. I mean, he's an excellent football player, and one of the best we've seen, and got our hands full there. But this is a typical Jim Schwartz, get up the field, jet rush, linebackers are downhill, physical, good tackling, football team. And offensively, we know what they're capable of doing. Obviously, just go back. I know it was a different quarterback last year, but chances of hitting some big plays, and the ability to do that. So, and special teams. I mean, it's a solid unit. So, good football team.
What's the challenge with dealing with Miles Garrett?
It's hard to just block him one on one, even with offensive tackles. I mean, it's a challenge. And particularly on third down or second long when they think you're going to pass, it's you got to spend the resources to slow him down. Hey, give him a lot of respect, and that's what teams do, right? I mean, that's what you see it on film all the time, and it's just it's the respect of who the player is, but he can certainly wreck a game.
How much, if at all, do you go back to last year's game?
You got to look at it, personnel, what we did offensively, defensively. Offensively, we didn't take care of the ball very well, in that football game. And, we turned it over too many times and, obviously still came down to a one-score game. So there's some positives to take away from it. But, I think the biggest takeaway, too, for us is just we got to protect the football, which, again, we didn't do on Sunday.
Since that game, they've added quite a few resources on the offensive side of the ball, especially at wide receiver. What have you seen in obviously a one-game sample size on tape, but from some of those additions?
Yeah, I think like with anything, you got talent there. I think they're still working through some things, getting on the same page with the quarterback and all that. But listen, it's the NFL, and these guys can light it up at any time. So. We have to be prepared this week and stay focused on us.
You guys were in man coverage. I think it was rated as like the highest percentage in the entire NFL last week, going up against pretty speedy wide receivers for the Dolphins. How do you carry that over now against this receiving core and against this offense?
Yeah, it's interesting how people view man coverage nowadays instead of match coverage, which is a zone defense. But anyway. It's week to week. I'll tell you this: it's week to week. Game plans are going to change. Techniques are going to change. How Ryan presents, our defense will change from last week. It's just the way the league is, and that's what you have to do. It's sort of a week to week game plan, deal. I really thought, for the most part, other than the big, the 3 plays for 182 yards in the game Sunday, our guys really did a nice job of corralling their receivers and playing physical, when we were in space, tackling in space and things like that. So it's going to take that same type of effort, again this week.
Not to be a smart ass, but could you honestly explain us take us through the match?
It'd take too long. We'd have to watch tape in order to do that, but yeah.
I know you have a game plan. I think maybe you might have game plan for him one time, maybe in Philly. But when you look at Deshaun Watson's career, are you surprised that he, obviously he had layoffs and he had injuries. Are you surprised that he has regressed as much as he has? The quarterback he wasn't used to, what he has been, at least so far.
Yeah, look, it's hard for me to speculate, and I don't want to do that. I just know that he's a good football player, and they went after him and wanted him to be the quarterback there, and he's still a dangerous guy, throwing and running the football. And John alluded to the fact that when we played him years ago, back when he was in Houston, he had a heck of a football game, and he's got that in him, and very capable of doing that. So can't fall asleep on it, can't lose focus on it. Just again, another good player in this league that you got to give a lot of respect to.
Before Nick Chubb got hurt, they were a power team. They wanted to play a power game of football. Without Chubb, do you still see that as part of their personality?
Offensively?
Yeah.
I do. I do. I see that. I see that they want to establish the run, obviously, and be physical. And I think that was part of their mindset last year. Going after us a little bit there, and we made some mistakes defensively and some communication errors last year, and obviously ultimately some big plays, but they definitely want to do that. I think each week, I think that's something you kind of have to look at and understand that you got to kind of match physicality with physicality, and be prepared for that.
How's Daniel Thomas progressing with his injury?
He's good. He's getting better, obviously. We'll see where he's at again today. We'll get him back out there running around.
Is Tyson an IR candidate at all?
Potentially. Haven't made a decision there. We'll see, what just the length of time, it'll be, but haven't made that decision yet.
And do you even mention today to the team to return the page, or does that happen on Monday?
We do that on Monday. And then we kind of turn the page then, and guys come in on Tuesday and really start focusing in on this week, this week's opponent.
What do you need to see or want to see that tells you there's no lingering anything from that game?
Well, the mistakes that we made, the subtle things, the communication issues offensively, even some of the communication things defensively. Have we corrected those, right? And we won't know again until we get out on the practice field on Sunday. So those are the things that, and then ball security. We got to create takeaways, and we got to take care of the football. And I think if we do that, it definitely helps your chances.
Back to just Tyson. Expectation. Obviously, you guys don't have a timeline yet about his availability this week. But if he can't go, who do you anticipate seeing more opportunities in his absence?
Trick question. We have options. Let me put it that way. We have options back there, and it's. I thought Buster did a nice job filling in last week, obviously, and really like where he's at and what he's done. So obviously that's a good option for us.
How is Mason Smith coming along for you?
Good. He's learning. I think playing Sunday in a real game like that really can be eye-opening experience for him, and how to approach it. Continues to work and get better. He's a sponge on defense, meaning he wants to learn and understand technique and gap control and pass rush. And there's a lot for a young player like that, but he's done a nice job.
Seems like every week there's a receiver or two to look out for. What kind of challenges do Amari, Cooper, and Judy kind of present?
Explosive. I was in Philly when Amari was in Dallas, and he can get behind you. He's good in space. He's smart. I mean, and it's a good tandem. Again, two guys that we got our hands full again this week.
NFL's Next Gen said Foye had 4 tackles where he crossed like 20 yards or more to make the tackle. What does that say about him, and what does it say to the rest of the team when they see him making those effort plays?
Well, he was really out of position, and he's hauling tail, or he's hustling. I would say that he's hustling, and making those plays. But it's good. I mean, it's great. I think our defense really played fast, on Sunday, despite some of the mistakes. But he's definitely. I saw that on film. Of course, I saw it live. Just how the intensity and the speed in which he plays.
How much do you have to get ETN this week to get him back? Is confidence there, or is he kind of self-motivated in that regard?
One, he's self-motivated. Two, he and I spoke even during the game Sunday and then afterwards, and I just reassured him that we're going to continue to give him the football, and I think that's the next best thing is to get him right back on that horse, as they say, and keep feeding him the ball. And I don't want him to be tentative, cautious. I still want him to attack, be aggressive, and just learn from it.
You mentioned the mistakes on defense from last week a couple of times. Were those mistakes from things that Miami was trying to force you to do, or just things?
No, just mistakes, just communication errors. Just things like that. That just first time everybody playing together, game speed. You know, it was warm. You tend to lose a little focus. You know, and it happened on offense the same way. You know, we had some breakdowns because of communication, and those are just in-game, loud stadium, loud environment that we internally have to fix, have to correct, and you know, because there's a lot of communication that takes place every snap with all the different adjustments that offenses present.
Did Sunday kind of provide a proof of concept for the verticality you can get in this offense with Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas Jr.?
Say it one more time.
Were you impressed with, or did it help you have confidence in, you know, how much verticality you can get with this offense, with Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas Jr. specifically?
Yeah, you know, it obviously, you know, hopefully you guys saw it in training camp, Brian's speed and how real that is, and then Gabe can, you know, for a bigger guy can still get down the field, and then he's physical at the top of the route. So it was good to see both those guys, you know, make some plays down the field, you know, Sunday. It's something we can continue to use in our offense.
You guys were 3-5 at home last year. Has that been at all a talking point with first home game coming up, just defending home turf?
No, we just understand. I mean, it's, you know, you want to win at home. You want to win in front of your fans. I think it's great for your players and your organization, obviously, to do that. And you know, it's just I don't necessarily spend a lot of time, you know, focusing on that as much as just continuing to do our jobs and you know, no matter where we play, you try to win the game. But ultimately, yeah, at home, it matters. It matters in front of your fans and you know, your city and you know, we just hope that this Sunday will be a great crowd, you know, out here at the bank.
What kind of things are you seeing out of Devin Lloyd?
You know, a player that really has, I think, embraced a new role, a new position. Somebody that's another one that played fast on Sunday, which meaning he's not necessarily thinking, he's just reacting to what he's been taught and coached. You know, Coach House has done a great job with those linebackers, and just a guy that's with playing with confidence. I think, you know, where he is right now, schematically, I think it really fits him and his style, and you know, more comfortable obviously playing off the ball and things of that nature. But he's in a really good place right now.
Besides Tyson,
Last one.
you guys came out healthy for the most part out of Sunday's game. No other injuries.
Good.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.